Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for coming back to another WEIGO podcast, aka What Else is Going On podcast YouTube video. I am Taria. I missed y'all so much. I have had an email that I sent to myself on Saturday because I was supposed to come to y'all on Saturday to talk about the topics that we're going to discuss now. So these are some topics that you've probably already heard, but y'all already know I wanted to come down and talk to y'all about some of this stuff going on. Some of y'all know the Reality Is podcast. If you haven't, they're really, my friend Noor is really funny. Love her podcast. And she's been on this podcast before, and she's been that podcast episode, one of the podcast episodes was uploaded to YouTube. Well, she came into town, and so I got to see her and uh RT, which was her old co-host at the time, but she had to step away for a little bit for work and things like that. So it was nice. I got to see them. So I didn't get it. My day kind of got away from me on Saturday because I started late. And you know how sometimes once you start late, you can kind of catch back up, but it was like couldn't catch back up. So I wasn't able to do my video, but I have missed y'all. And then today I was out, y'all know I'll be out in these streets making money. That sounds so crazy. But those of y'all that have been here since the beginning, you know. And I came home because it was raining. Real y'all. I had the top up in my little bun and then because I got my hair cut into. I'm a bob girl and I've loved bob for years. I'll go off and on letting it be long, short. And then when I went through health issues that affected my hair, whatever. It was just like, but anyway, we're now hopefully on the other side of that. But so my bob was bobbing. Child, it thunderstormed in, well, not storm. I don't think it stormed, but it like showered rain. I was in Target and I had no choice but to come out. I mean, when I tell you I was soaked, hair soaked, everything. Then I just let it kind of like poof up or what have you. So I came home for a few minutes, supposed to be for a few minutes. And then all of a sudden, you know how you feel when your blood sugar is low? I don't think I ate enough today. Like I had a Gatorade in the morning and then I had a Dietz and Watson hot sausage, the best. And but I still don't think that was quite enough for the time that it was. And y'all, it felt like I was shaky. So then I'm trying to like make a piece of toast, eat some crackers. And I hate when that happens because then you're just shoving everything in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, not really what I'm trying to do. And then I should have had some water, but then I had some iced tea and a Seagram's Jamaican Me Crazy wine cooler because I thought maybe that would, you know. Yeah, and then I ended up laying down on the couch and just curling up in a ball. And then my husband was home. He was like, "Are you okay? Do you need me to get anything? How you feel?" Oh, and I was like, "No, I feel good." At that point, I was feeling better. And then I just drifted off to sleep. He had a work call. Then he came back downstairs and was like, "You need me to bring you anything?" Um, I said, no, I just need to be doing because I was supposed to be doing like 3 videos yesterday. But at the last minute, me, Corey, and the kids, we went out to eat just to spend some time together. Instead of trying to figure out what we were going to eat for dinner, we just went out because I was supposed to do 3 videos yesterday. But anyway, I was like, another day I'm going by without doing videos because my body, y'all, was just so. I think it needed rest and food. I just felt like low, like everything felt low. Even once my blood sugar felt like it was regular, I just couldn't get up off the couch. Like I felt like I was weighed down, and so then I fell back to sleep, and then I finally dragged myself up to go take a shower. Then once I started moving around, I was like, you know what? I haven't done a facial in a while. Let me do a facial. Let me get all the hair off my body because I'll either shave my arms and my legs or do nair. So I was like, let me do some nair because that takes a while. Telling you all my business. But anyway, did all that. And now I all of a sudden it was like, whew, I feel energized. So I am here. So sorry for the long intro, but I miss y'all. So let's get into some of these topics. Y'all might even get another video after this. So let's get into these topics. First up, let's talk about RHOA and Drew Sidora. According to page 6, and this is 3 days old, but I still wanted to talk about it because we had talked about Drew working with Dennis a couple of days ago. And I was saying how are Drew and Ralph still in the house? What's going on there? Is that going to be showcased? Blah, blah, blah. Does he feel like basically he's part of her storyline or whatever? Well, she reveals that she and estranged husband Ralph Pittman are still living together, but he's in the basement. Not much has changed since Drew Sidor and Ralph Pittman filed for divorce last year. It's still not settled, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star told People Friday, adding that the estranged couple are still living together under the same roof. I don't even know. I didn't even know that could happen, she admitted. I was like, what? Sadora 39 made sure to clarify that she and Pittman 41 are cohabitating as separately as possible, explaining he is living in the basement, and that was court ordered. The actress who previously accused the business consultant of being a serial cheater and adulterer who abused her mentally and financially called the arrangement crazy. It'd be much easier if we were able to move on separately, you know, out of sight, out of mind, with your own space and your own energy, she told the outlet. But that's clearly not in the cards, so sharing space has been a double whammy. Sador went on to joke, we're kind of like the blueprint for a show, divorce. When she said that we're kind of like the blueprint, do people know what blueprints are? Because people will be like, oh, I'm the blueprint, or I'm the. Do people know what that means? And it almost made me think she said it like, okay, we're definitely going to be seeing it on TV. Like, oh, I feel like this light is like glaring off my head. But anyway, I don't know. She said, when you're dealing with someone who wants everything and is just not willing to walk away with what he came in with, it makes it very, very hard. She said of why the split has taken so long to be finalized. So I'm just learning how this process can go in the worst case scenario. And I'm taking it literally one day at a time. Sorry, y'all. My husband came in. He got me some cases of water. He didn't realize I was recording, and the look he gave me was funny. Anyway, she said, so I'm learning how this process can go in the worst case scenario, and I'm taking it literally one day at a time. The singer shares son, Makai, 9, and daughter, Anaya, 6, with Ralph. She's also mom to son, Josiah, 13. The kids, because we're still under the same roof, the energy has definitely shifted. But to keep normalcy for my babies has meant everything to me. To be able to put my arms around my kids during those tough times, I think it's been helpful for us. Sador admitted that she cannot wait to be able to sign on the dotted line. I'm going to probably have a divorce party after this because it's unimaginable what you have to go through in this type of situation. So when I get on the other side, we're partying. Now, look, I know that it's not easy. Then you have assets and a house and this and that and the third, and it may not just be simple as that. I mean, look at Portia and Simon. I mean, and even people that are not famous, it may not be that easy all the time, right? But I also do feel like this is for her story. And not saying you can't use your real life on TV, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Us following your real, the cameras following your real life and us viewers watching. But I do feel like it's a strategic move on Drew's part. I said it before and I'll say it again. I like Drew. I could take her leave. I am glad she's back, I guess. I guess I really don't have any feelings about it because I could take or leave her. But I do feel like she's forever an actress. And she's like, when she's on the show, she's portraying what she thinks a housewife is versus just being herself. Like she's playing the part of a housewife. I feel like, does anybody ever see the real Drew? So I definitely believe that this is strategic uh, for her to stay on the show. They're getting a divorce, living in the same house. I mean, he's living in the basement. Clearly, that's going to be, we're going to go through that. This will be her season where she gets a divorce. The next season will be the season that she has the divorce party and single and dating. Watch, We'll see. Moving on. I know we talked about this, but this was funny because of Tasha's response. Tasha K. So y'all know that Soulja Boy is suing Tasha K, but I wanted to read y'all something. I thought I had it screenshot. I hope it's still up because Tasha plays. She be playing a lot. She really do. She be playing a lot. And part of me is like, does she take, I mean, you know what? Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying, I guess. Got to laugh to keep from really facing what's going on. I think it's up here. Okay, here we go. So this is according to TMZ. Soulja Boy sues Tasha K You and William the Baddest crossed the line with those gay rumors. Soulja Boy has filed a lawsuit against social media personalities Tasha K and William the Baddest. TMZ Hip Hop can confirm. The crank that rap star is suing over comments he claims were made on Tasha K's Unwind with Tasha K podcast about William and the rapper being in a romantic relationship, which Soulja claims are nothing but big fat lies. According to the lawsuit, William told Tasha on the podcast in May that he and Soulja Boy were lovers in graphic detail, and the clip went viral online. Soulja says he gave both Tasha and William a chance to right their wrongs by sending them a retraction letter around the time he made his social media post denying the allegations. But now Soulja's upping the ante, suing the pair for defamation, sexual harassment, violation of right to privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and more. William, for his part, later doubled down and tattooed Soulja's name on his cheek in purple ink, no less. Soulja is suing for more than 16 million in total damages. So William the Baddest is saying that is true. He didn't double down and got Soulja's name tattooed on his face. Again, Soulja sent both of them cease and desist. I believe that it maybe be taken down off of YouTube, the video, but it's still on her TashaK.com website, I believe. So this news comes out that they're suing her, right? Currently, Tasha K is doing a tour, a comedy tour. And so she posted, PSA, process servers can meet me in Boston on Saturday, July 20th, which, like I said, I wanted to talk to y'all about this Saturday anyway, but PSA, process servers can meet me in Boston on Saturday, July 20th, or in New York City on July 21st. I will be performing at the City Wineries. My wine, gossip, and comedy shows start promptly at 7:30 p.m. Be sure to purchase a ticket process server, and I will make sure that my security team lets you through to serve me without any hassle. My lawyers are also in New York and will be attending my New York show as well if you have any problems getting to me. Now, winos, get ready to turn up for 2 shows. I said, girl, like when I saw it, I laughed and thought it was funny, but then I was like, yo, she really takes nothing seriously. Maybe she knows more than we know about this. Like maybe she feels like she covered her bases. She did take the video down. She didn't say it. I do wonder how that works, because I was thinking after the whole Cardi incident, people coming on saying what they're saying on her channels now, like, her interviewing, would she still be liable for what they say, even if she says, this is all alleged, this is not what I'm saying, this is what they're saying, I'm just interviewing them? Is that what happened to Cardi, or was Tasha saying the things? Like, she had somebody come on and speak on Cardi, but then she was also saying things, I believe, right? But I do wonder, like, if I'm interviewing someone and they're coming on to say things about a person, and I'm saying this is all alleged, this is this person's story, again, this is all alleged, would I then be liable for what that person is saying, because it is my platform? So I wonder how that works when it comes to defamation. And then with defamation, you have to prove that it was your intent to harm or embarrass or defame a person. Whereas somebody could say, well, I'm simply sharing my story, that this was my, and taking Soulja Boy out of it, but I'm simply sharing that this person was a part of my story and I just want to get my story out. Like, it seems like defamation can be kind of hard to prove. I mean, Cardi was able to do it, but I feel like that was clear and that was a constant. So, but I don't know. I just wonder about that. But anyway, child, she said, so I wonder if they served her. Probably not, because I think she would have came out and said that. She in another lawsuit, child. Moving on, Sean Kingston, y'all, and his mama. This is according to People magazine. Sean Kingston and his mother face decades in prison. Decades, a decade is 10 years. Decades in prison after federal wire fraud charges. A grand jury charged Kingston and his mother Turner each with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 5 counts of wire fraud. Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, face decades in prison if convicted by a federal grand jury on wire fraud charges. According to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of Florida on Friday, July 19th. A Miami grand jury charged Kingston, whose real name is it Kishawn, Kisean, Kishawn Anderson, 34, and Janice Turner, 61, each with one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 5 counts of wire fraud for their alleged involvement in a scheme to defraud victim sellers of high-end specialty vehicles, jewelry, and other goods purchased by the defendants through the use of fraudulent documents. If convicted, each defendant faces up to 20 years in prison on each count. So if they got one count of wire fraud and one count of conspiracy to commit the wire fraud, and then 5 counts of wire fraud, that's 6 counts, 20 years each. I mean, so they're facing up to 120 years, child. Because it says if convicted, each defendant faces up to 20 years in prison on each count. The department alleged that the mother-son duo unjustly enriched themselves by falsely representing that they had executed bank wire or other monetary payment transfers as payment for the goods, when in fact, no such bank wire or other monetary payment transfers had been executed by the purported banks. Arrest warrants released by the Broward County Sheriff's Office and previously reviewed by People alleged that the duo stole nearly $500,000 in jewelry, $160,000 from an Escalade dealer, $86,000 from the maker of customized beds, and more. Child. Through the execution of this scheme, the defendants obtained in excess of $1 million in property, said the U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District Court of Florida. Thursday, Kingston was arrested on Thursday, May 23rd in California after arrest and search warrants were served at the South Florida mansion he was renting. His mother was arrested earlier that day. The raid was executed as part of an investigation stemming from a February lawsuit between Verver Entertainment and Kingston, which claimed that the singer had not paid for purchased items from the company. According to the complaint obtained by People, Kingston allegedly breached his contract by failing to pay the company after multiple attempts to collect payment and presented numerous false representations, including that he had a current and ongoing working relationship with Justin Bieber, which we talked about that, with whom he's previously collaborated. CBS News reported that Kingston was on 2 years probation for trafficking stolen property. So he was already on probation. And now this. So, child, we'll see how it goes. Y'all, them mugshots was something serious. Y'all see them mugshots of them? I got to show y'all. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm not going to say it. Look, so that's his mugshot, right? I said, mama looked like she a kingpin of something. Allegedly, I'm just saying look like. I'm not saying she looked like she runs something somewhere, something. Like y'all watch the show The Family Business? Carl Weber's Family Business. She running something for somebody somewhere. She ain't somebody to be played with. Okay? Yeah. So we will see what happens with them. Let's talk about Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh. Jolie, absolutely gorgeous, first of all. When I was looking at her, when she's standing next to Angelina, she looks just like Angelina. And then when she's standing next to Brad, or in this case, there was Angelina and then a picture of Brad right next to her, she looked just like him. She is like the perfect blend of them both. She's gorgeous. This is according to Page 6. Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh, publishes newspaper announcement to drop dad Brad Pitt's last name. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh, is forging ahead with her plan to remove Pitt from her legal name. The 18-year-old recently published a notice in the Los Angeles Times to announce that she was dropping Pitt from her surname. Although it was previously reported that she had taken out an ad, an insider confirmed to Page 6 that it was actually a legal notice. According to California law, and I guess the laws differ everywhere. According to California law, a person is required to publish a request in the notices section of a newspaper that is in general circulation. The teenager is seeking to change her name from Shiloh, I'm not sure how to say it, Nouvelle Jolie Pitt, to Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie. A rep for the LA Times didn't immediately return Page Six's request for comment. As Page Six reported, Shiloh filed a petition on her 18th birthday in May, insinuating that she doesn't want to be associated with her famous father amid his brutal divorce battle with the Girl Interrupted star. An insider told Entertainment Tonight that Shiloh hired and paid for her own attorney, so Angie doesn't know and can't speak for it. However, Pitt insiders questioned who was really behind the significant move, telling Page Six reasonable people should draw their own conclusions as to who is actually behind it. A source also told people that the Ocean's 11 actor was aware and upset about his daughter's actions. He's never felt more joy than when she was born. He's always wanted a daughter. Didn't him and Angelina adopt Zahara together before Shiloh? Anyway, I'm going to say this. People are quick to blame the mom, say, oh, the mother's saying things about the child. I've shared with y'all that my husband I met him when my oldest was 2 years old. She had when she was born, I gave her my last name. And she wanted when I got married, she wanted her last name changed. I was like, okay, because I grew up in a house where my last name was the only last name that was different. Right. I had my two brothers, my mom and dad. They had my dad's last name, who raised me, my dad. Then my name was different. I had my mom's maiden name, which I loved my last name. But I also remember how it felt having a different last name at times than everybody in your family. So my daughter was like, I want the same last name. And she was very clear. She was like, he is my dad because he reads to me, he takes care of me, he does this, he does that. Like I said, he's been there since she was 2. So we legally changed her last name. She's very well aware of the biological. And I made it a point. Y'all, when I tell you, I made it a point, even though it was hard. Sometimes I said, what I'm not going to do is speak negative about him in front of her. I did one time. I'll never forget. She was like 4 or 5. And I was like, oh, he is so trifling. And she was like, who's trifling? And I said, not trifling. I'm just frustrated. And I remember that. Of course, as she got older and started to see things on her own and would ask me questions, I was truthful because I believe in being truthful with children. But I say that to say people are quick to blame the mom. Oh, the mom is saying this. The mom is putting stuff in their head, almost like on, I don't know if y'all watch Love and Marriage, Huntsville, but a man left his family, left his wife and young kids. She meets somebody. He's now taking care of the kids, bought one of them a car, teaching them how to drive, taking them on trips. And now the father is saying that the mom put the thoughts that his children have about him in their heads. No, they were old enough to see that you were absent and not doing anything and not there for them. So I feel the same thing could be said in this case where, they want to blame it on Angelina. Even if she did give Shiloh money, an attorney to do all this for her, if it was because she felt that way, that is her right to feel that way and not want this man's last name. Especially if she's witnessed things or, you know what I mean? Or anything like that. So I can't stand, it irritates me when they blame the woman as if kids don't have brains and eyes and ears and see things that we don't even know that they're seeing. So shout out to Shiloh. But like I said, I'm going to go back because I saw some talk about her putting it in the paper. And I just want to go back and read that. Again, the laws are different everywhere. So somebody can say, we ain't got to do that in Maryland. Well, guess what? You're in Maryland. You're not in California. And again, the law in California is a person is required to publish a request in the notices section of a newspaper that is in general circulation. Because that's all people saying, oh, like when you see the headline, oh, she put it in the paper that she wants to change her last name. It's like, well, it wasn't on the front page. Her request was in the notices section. So blessings to Shiloh, Jolie. And then this last thing I wanted to ask her, Sometimes I feel like we're living in a time where we want to tell people, we tell people, be your own person, no matter what people say. Walk away from your job if it's not making you happy. Do the entrepreneurship if it makes you happy. Or people are pushing entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship. But then as soon as somebody says, well, I'm comfortable at my 9 to 5, my 9 to 5 is great, benefits, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, then people bash them. So I feel like we're living in a dichotomy of sorts, like meaning, I don't even know if dichotomy is the right word, but we're living in a time where it's like, be you, be yourself, unless yourself or your choice doesn't align with what I think, then it's like, no. And I hate that for us to be living in a time that is open and embracing to people and differences. It's also really not, even though we preach that we are, right? So I came across this post and it just, I don't know, it just annoyed me because it sounded so stupid. So I see this post on the neighborhood talk and I was reading some of the comments. I just wanted to see what y'all thought because I was like, this person can't be for real. Or is this satire? So it may be satire, who knows? But as a man, why do you work in human resources? Please go get a real man's job. Payroll and HR for the girls. I was like, are they serious? Because there are people that actually think that way. And then there were people in the comments that were like, one of them said, oh, I'm HR. And then somehow it came out, I believe, that they were part of the LGBTQ plus community. And then somebody else chimed in and was like, well, you're proving her point. Because he's part of the LGBTQ community doesn't mean that he's a girl. Like, we're living in a time where it's be who you are. Again, be who you want to be. Take risks, take chances. We don't let men control our bodies. We don't let people control our thoughts. Oh, but if it doesn't align with how I was raised or how I see fit or where I'm from, then you shouldn't think that way or you're wrong. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with that is we preach, don't judge, hashtag don't judge me, don't judge. But then as soon as it's something that you don't agree with, and I'm not saying y'all, but you know what I mean? I'm sure y'all know people like that. But that post just really annoyed me. I don't know. Well, because when I saw it, I was like, so one of the comments was funny. It was like, just be honest, he didn't approve, meaning like at her job, he didn't approve your vacation. You know, like you just mad because your time off wasn't approved. I thought that was funny, but I was like, is this a real conversation that we're having about an HR job? Whether it's a man or a woman's job, it's a job. I'm gonna tell y'all this was funny. Hold on. Oh, please. Somebody said, I'm sick of people spending all day looking for something to complain about. But then where is this? Somebody says, I imagine this is how white people felt when black people began to trickle into these fields. Somebody said, I'm in HR and my boss is making 300K and has homes in multiple states. He is winning. Somebody said, let's not start this conversation because when I bring up that it was against the law for women to work once upon a time, I don't want to hear S about it because that law shouldn't have never been taken away if this the route y'all women want to go down. Somebody said, OMG, the director of HR at my job is a man, a black one at that. Find something else to be mad about. As a matter of fact, my girlfriend used to work at a very big hospital, and I believe her HR director was a man, married, kids, all of that stuff. Here it is. This is the one. Is she serious? I don't give a F if he do Instacart, long as he ain't pushing Fent or stealing. Well, there you have it. I just wanted to ask y'all what y'all thought about that. I thought that was so, 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 so stupid. All right, y'all, I'm going to log off. I might be back. I love y'all so much, and I will see you later. Stay safe, stay cool. Make sure y'all putting on y'all black girl sunscreen, and I will talk to you later. See ya.